The options that are shown in this video are available via the version of CASAXPS that will be in the description below this video. In this video I'm going to illustrate some new features that help when working with data files that are presented in this format. The format is a set of VAMAS blocks and they have been ordered according to an index. So the experimental variable is the index of each one of these VAMAS blocks in the VAMAS file. That is to say, the index correlates with the order of the VAMAS blocks which contain the data within the VAMAS file, and may lead you to believe that these represent the order for which these measurements were performed, and it's not true in this case. And we can see that using a new option that will allow the date stamp that is within each one of these VAMAS blocks to be used to create an experimental variable. So let me do that. I'll apply changes in elapsed time, and they will be relative to the first VAMAS block in the file. So the first one will be 0, and then every other date stamp relative to that 0 will produce a time in minutes that will be assigned to each one of these VAMAS blocks. And so we will then see the order within the file, and we may even see changes that will help with quantification as different VAMAS blocks become aligned based on this new experimental variable. So when I press the button, we see the date stamp in minutes relative to the first one is then the experimental variable for each one of these VAMAS blocks. Some of these VAMAS blocks have the same date stamp, so they do align straight away in terms of rows representing measurement of narrow scan spectra from the same sample at the same time. Now the problem that you can see as we scan down this list is that we see that there's a jump and then a return to a lower time. So in fact these were never in a chronological order. They are still ordered according to the original VAMAS file that was written. What I need to do is readjust the order, and I can do that by selecting the VAMAS block which is first. I could actually have selected any single VAMAS block to do this operation, because all I'm interested in doing is sorting the VAMAS blocks according to the experimental variable that's active, so the date stamp. And so I select it, press the toolbar button that is edit experimental variable, so I can edit the experimental variable value if I like. I could set another value. I'm not going to change these things at all, because all I'm interested in is sorting, and this is why I wanted to select just one. I did not want to adjust the experimental variable for other VAMAS blocks. I was only interested in sorting the VAMAS blocks within this file according to the date stamp, and that will happen by having the radio button that says set value, then sort experimental variable increasing order. That's exactly what I want. Press OK, and now we have an increasing time, and that's good because this now means that we see the VAMAS blocks according to the time when they were acquired, and that's always very useful to know when you try to understand data. If I slip back to the original index, you can now see that the index never did rely on the date stamp or the order in which VAMAS blocks were created. So here we can see the list of indices, and they do not correlate with the VAMAS blocks. You can see what the new VAMAS block order is still indicated by the VB hash option, so 0 through to the number of VAMAS blocks. So they're now the new order for this VAMAS file, and we can now save this and preserve the order according to the chronological order of when spectra were measured.